everyone, welcome to Accent on Cars. Today is an exciting day because we have one of the most powerful Audis for review, 2022 Audi RS5. I'm going to tell you all about it. We're going to talk about driving and handling impressions. We're going to take it out on the road, measure 0 to 60 time, POV, exhaust notes. Make sure you stay tuned till the end. I guess the main question I have for me personally, is it better than Mercedes C63 S Coupe or BMW M4? Because this car, although not directly competes with those cars, and if you haven't seen my review of M4, make sure you watch that video after watching this one. That car was a blast and it's going to be really hard to beat it. But we're going to find out if this gray Audi can beat the best of the breed. Luckily, this particular car has been fully spec'd out. You know, the owner probably checked every possible checkbox when building the car. It's a custom order car. You can see it's been like blacked out with this black grills, carbon, like the side skirts, carbon lip, carbon spoiler, carbon everything, except for the carbon brakes. I don't think this car has it. This doesn't have carbon ceramic brakes. It has like steel brakes, but they are massive. They are huge. So the wheels are like 20-inch wide. I think that definitely fits this car. You know, anything smaller would just look ugly. The brake calipers, nice and red. Two-piece rotors. You know, this car is pretty much ready to hit the racetrack. The owner told me that they're a little dusty though. Is it a sleeper? It definitely isn't. I don't think it's like too aggressive, but it definitely, you know, stands out from the rest of the Audi lineup. You can like easily tell this car apart from a regular A5 or even S5. It has some RS touches to it. I like this particular color combination of the Nordic gray with the, you know, the carbon trim here and there, black roof, full LED headlights. Not even just a full LED, they are laser enabled. So, you know, when there's nobody out on the road in the dark, the laser beam goes much further than any LED light could go, increasing visibility and safety. Where you would traditionally have fog lights, the Audi puts sensors there, and those sensors help with adaptive cruise controlling, pre-saved, and etc. The RS5 is all over the car. There's RS5 kind of like emblem on the front, on the door sills, on the steering wheel, on the seats, on the mat, by the shifter lever, anywhere. Audi did want to make sure that people who pay this kind of money feel special, you know, and anybody who gets in the car gets it right the first time. This is top of the line RS5. This is not just your regular peasant A5. So 360 camera, there's a little camera over here. Getting in and out of the parking lots isn't gonna be an issue. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the size. I think the car is just over 4,000 pounds, like 4,100 pounds or something. So it isn't necessarily a lightweight car, but by modern day standards, it can be considered somewhat light. So it's not super heavy, but it isn't a particularly short or small car either. You know, cars keep growing in size. I think this is about the same size as the G82 most recent M4, you know, but that comes with added practicality. The front doors are like widened, obviously frameless front glass, just to, you know, underline that this is a sportback or hatchback. It's really easy to get in and out of the front seats. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. But even as well as the rear seats, getting in and out of the rear seats is not an issue at all. So you can have like passengers in here. They will fit like just comfortably for even long distances. The rear seats have nice kind of like, you know, they're tilted back, so it's comfortable to kind of like have that like lay back, sit in here and go on long trips. There's plenty of space for your legs and feet. I'm like 5.8 and I can fit behind myself just easily. I wouldn't be claustrophobic. For the rear seats, there's not much of the entertainment controls, but you can control the temperature. It has a heated rear seats. Yes, you heard me right. There's carbon fiber everywhere. There's a little bit of the what is it called, like piano black plastic here, so you know it gets fingerprints on it and stuff. Door handles, I'm not sure if this is aluminum or aluminum colored plastic, but they most likely plastic, but they look awesome and they're pleasant to touch, and they're weighted. You know, Audi does a great job making sure that all the springs and stuff have nice weight to them, so they're pleasant to pull. Although looks very like sexy and modern, this is gonna be detailer's nightmare in the future. Good luck like detailing all this kind of like curves and in between them. Let's take a look at the back. Carbon diffuser here, but not the whole thing is in carbon, just like this line over here. The rest is a blacked out plastic. You have a single wide exhaust pipe. You know, it's not like dual exhaust. Despite all the current day regulations about exhaust and the you know, noise levels that the auto manufacturers can have, the car has nice burble to it. Being hatchback or sportback, as Audi calls it, it comes with a, you know, added practicality. The trunk size isn't that huge. I kind of like expected. I thought this would be bigger. The opening isn't that wide. It's not that long. It's not too deep. But for a car like this, I think this must be more practical than, let's say, C63 or M4. The rear seats do fold down, so if you have like long objects like furniture or something, you can put it in, or like skis. Finally, Audi, just like Mercedes, added 2 buttons here for just closing the trunk or closing and locking. I don't think they had that. And traditionally for Audi, we have LEDs and LED strips for lighting. It looks nice and beautiful, but in my mind, those LED strips do not provide adequate amount of lighting in the trunk. I know, in case you throw someone in there, kidnap them. It looks very modern, very, very modern. However, it also feels very Audi-like. If you have ever had an Audi, if you are an Audi interior fan, you will get in this and you will feel like home. You're not gonna be like, oh, what's this? This doesn't look like Audi. So it's gonna look very like Audi. For some people, it's a good thing. For some others say, oh, we wish like they revolutionized the interior just like Mercedes does with every other body style. Much larger screen. 2022 model is an updated design, so it has like upgraded MMI or like entertainment system. MMA, I think Audi calls it. I don't necessarily like the way they have incorporated it into the dashboard. They haven't incorporated it into the dashboard. But unfortunately, that's the reality of our day. Nowadays, neither Mercedes, I think BMW does a better job, but Mercedes and Audi now just like stick this like a tablet in there, which in the past would look like everybody would think this was an aftermarket add-on. Carbon fiber everywhere. I wish it was like full carbon fiber. There is like piano black here. It's a modern trend again. Definitely has fingerprints, definitely has like minor scratches on them. Arguably one of the best like cockpits or instrumental cluster, fully digital, very crisp, very bright. It's easy to read. Blacks are really black. And traditionally, like in the past, Audi backup cameras or cameras in general were not like HD or that great. This one is super crisp. You have full Alcantara everywhere. Oh, the headliner isn't Alcantara. That's strange. But you have Alcantara inserts on the doors. The steering wheel is full Alcantara. The shifter is full Alcantara. Looks nice and sexy, but in 5 to 10 years from now, it's probably gonna look a little gross. I like that we have finally, you know, they brought the physical controls for AC back. Little digital displays for the turn knobs, start-stop button. It has heated seats. To my surprise, I find it to be strange, it doesn't have cooled seats. Come on, Audi. I think this body is full aluminum, but regardless, this is a heavy hood. Thanks goodness for those hydraulic lifters. Look at the engine bay. Isn't it sexy? I think they did a great job, you know, kind of like making the under the hood, you know, look beautiful, because they know that people are gonna take this to car meets and they're gonna have the hood open and brag about their engines. No more 8 cylinders. Those days are gone. Thanks goodness for the twin turbo V6 from Audi, TFSI engine. Traditionally for Audis, the more powerful the engine, the more reliable it is. It outputs 444 horsepower, which, you know, on paper isn't a lot, and we're gonna drive it, see if it actually feels fast or is fast. Audi claims that actually a current driver said this makes 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds or 3.3 even, and quarter mile 11.8. That's like amazing, 115 miles. What's important is that torque is available from down below, from 1900 RPM. So the power band is really wide. You know, there should be like minimum turbo lag, but again, we will get to check that. I don't know, I haven't heard about like particular common problems associated with this engine. It's still pretty new, you know, at least in this iteration of this engine. In general, I think as this car's age, we should not expect too many issues. Maybe like traditional Audi issues will be present, such as carbon buildup, minor oil leaks, maybe turbo, maybe it will start consuming some oil, you know, traditional Audi problems that they can't get rid of. But I don't think we should expect any major like problems that BMW usually has. Transmission, 8-speed ZF, one of the best, and Audi tunes them the best. Very fast, very reliable. This car, I'm sure most people will tune it to the stage 1, stage 2. Engine and transmission should not have any issues. Is that enough? I think it is. Let's get behind the wheel and start enjoying it. All right, let's go for a ride. Man, the car feels so light on its feet. There was a slight turbo lag. We are in what, Sport 2, right?
No, Dynamic.
Oh, we are in Dynamic, so we're not in RS mode. So even in Dynamic, there was a slight hesitancy, like a turbo lag, but then it downshifted and it just like got going. We do hear exhaust. You can't expect too loud of exhaust from modern day cars without modifications thanks to regulations. Steering wheel is really pleasant to hold in your hands. The paddle shifters are a little small. They are aluminum, nice and cold, really nice to touch. The visibility generally out of the windows is good. You know, there you have like plenty of visibility out of the side windows. The side mirrors are nice and informative. And because it's a coupe, or like Sportback rather, they're mounted on the door themselves, not the A-pillar. That gives you additional visibility. Visibility out of the rear glass isn't great. This is a full touch screen. Reaching out, by the way, is pretty easy. You know, it's not that far away. I don't know if you are like a tall person and you have to sit all the way in the back, maybe it will be. Oh, look. At first I was like, which button controls which setting? But they have kind of like touchpads incorporated into them. So as you mouse your finger over, it highlights which setting you are about to control. For quicker switching to the RS mode, there's RS button on the steering wheel. You can be in the RS1 or RS2. Yeah, there is slight hesitancy, you know, slight turbo lag. I personally didn't expect that from Audi, to be honest. However, once it downshifts and it goes fast. So much confidence. The Quattro, it's probably one of the most advanced Quattros because it can send up to 70% of the torque and power to the rear, or like 80% to the rear and up to 70% to the front when it needs it. It is super fast. It is in manual mode. I love how like kind of like the transmission shifts. It's not only is it like super responsive and super quick to shift, but it also has, does it in somewhat like raw manner. You feel the transmission shifting. Downshifts are much smoother with the rev matching. When you downshift, there's slight exhaust farts. It's not quite like pops and bangs, but it's pleasant to listen to. One thing I did notice is that when you are in manual, if you are not using it, it goes back to S. Maybe implies that it's not a true like automatic manual. You can test it actually. Yeah, it is. It does upshift when you hit the rev limiter, so it's not like true manual.
You can make it.
You can make it?
Yeah. Just downshift once.
I did find the true manual mode. In this case, it was jumping off the rev limiter and not upshifting for me. It's strange. We can't figure out how to keep the car in M. If you don't touch the paddles, it goes back to S. But now it holds it. So I don't know. There's gotta be a way. Merging on the highway. It just grabs onto the road. There's no sign of wheel spin whatsoever. Engine is at 226 Fahrenheit. It's a hot day. The oil, I mean. Now, if anything, you know, after owning this car for a while, I can expect most enthusiasts meddling with the exhaust to make it louder, because I'm sure this car can sound great. You know, they just had to muffle it down. The brakes are really powerful as well, as you would expect from such large calipers, and they're really easy to modulate. The Quattro is, in my mind, makes the best four-wheel drive systems out there. The only V6 that can sound better than any car, including this one, is that Alfa Romeo Giulia. This one isn't the V6 model. I love Google Maps, and I love that you can expand it to the full width of the screen. Cruising on highway, 75 in comfort, 2000 RPM, nice and comfortable. You can see the lane keep assist and the adaptive cruise control in action. The lane keep assist is a little strange. I do agree with Matt in that it's having hard time like keeping it in the middle of the road. What it does is it waits until it kind of like steps on the lane, and then it turns the wheel to the right or left or right. I don't feel comfortable trusting the lane keep assist. What's the average MPG you get? 21? Hold on tight. Quattro, what are you doing? So much grip, so much grip. And are you on all season?
Yeah.
50 miles on a very tight highway merge. And merging on the load, no issue. Yeah, very quick. Quite impressive for V6. I think it's a true V8 zone, you know, in terms of performance. Maybe let's talk a little bit about like minor negatives or the things that I thought would have been different. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I wish there was cooled seats. Second, there's some turbo lag present, and I'm pretty sure with some ECU tune you can turn this engine into a super responsive beast. Third, the entertainment itself is great. Just the screen, you know, feels like an afterthought. It's not incorporated into dash at all. What else? I guess it's not that raw. I thought this was gonna be like even kind of like more brutal, you know, much more aggressive. Super fast, but there is not that level of drama that I expected. Other than that, it's a great engine, a great car. Thank you so much for providing your car for review. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like. Each like helps, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the future episodes.